Prison guards have launched an appeal for safer working conditions.
Guards from Edmonton Institution are airing their concerns about working conditions.
Correctional officers in prisons right across this country say inmates aren't the only ones doing hard time.
Demanding better equipment to protect them from violent inmates.
5 penitentiaries are allowing cameras inside their heavily guarded doors. It follows reports last night that Canadian prisons are a hotbed for homemade weapons.
The weapons are made with objects most inmates have access to, including toilet bowl cleaners, toothbrushes, and wooden chairs. A new campaign is being launched by prison guards to educate the public about the dangers of their jobs.
Visits are suspended in the Kingston prison until further notice because of a violent incident last night. Ironically, this comes just after reporters visited the facility. Correctional Service Canada wanted to show its jails are safe, but the guards who work there are very concerned.
I was punched twice in the head by an inmate, and I spent 4 months away from work dealing with a concussion. During this attack, I was not armed with anything to protect myself.
The security officer in the mall, he's better equipped than we are, and we're dealing with the worst negative element of Canadian society.
In a public service is exposed to free violence, be verbal or physical, against correctional officers. Nobody else has working condition that we have. Infectious disease, working on shift, 1 weekend off every 3 weeks. Nobody else has that. One thing is for sure, we are going to stand up together and we're going to achieve the contract that we deserve.
People don't know what happens inside jails. RCMP and police agencies are on television all the time, and people do get to know what it is that they do. And people don't know what correctional officers do.
Because most of them don't have an idea of what it's like to be in a prison and have to work there. And they also, I don't think, realize that our employer, the Correctional Service of Canada, seems to be more on the side of the inmate than the officers that are working there.
We're peace officers. We work the streets of our institutions on a day-to-day basis, and we don't have the proper equipment to do our job.
Basically, that's why we're out here, to show the people what we have to deal with the weapons that are made, and it's good to have their support, keep them on board with what we are doing.
Well, I'll give you my support.
Most people understand where we're coming from. Most people agree that we do need increased health and safety, and for the most part, the public's very supportive.
The Treasury Board they've been dragging their feet. They haven't been sitting down with us and listening to our concerns.
Public support puts pressure on the House of Commons to sit down and negotiate with us.
I haven't seen Paul Martin tour one of our facilities yet.
Well, Paul, you did say you were coming out to see us 3 times. Thanks for finally coming out.
I'd like them to know daily what kind of job we have to do and what the demands are placed upon us.
Walk through our shoes for one day and see how it feels, and then maybe they may have a better outlook of what kind of job that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
We'd like our employer to take us seriously in the fact that our health and safety is on the table and in jeopardy every day that we go to work.
Unfortunately, we're made to work way past the point at which our officers can retire and enjoy some years of retirement. We don't seem to be getting the full benefit of our retirement plan because we tend to die very soon after retiring.
You guys are slated for PV6, Northern Inglewood. 1 folder, 2 clipboards for each person. You guys got petitions in there for each of you. You got pens in there for each of you and the map of your route. Head out onto the streets, split up, 1 on each side of the house. When you're done that, return back to the hall. We'll give you another route.
I feel today's mobilization is extremely important to support negotiations, especially as regards the demands to the federal government on the pension plan and working conditions in the penitentiaries.
Well, a lot of times they'll see their national executive or their local or regional representatives doing the work of the union, and a lot of times they're saying, well, what can I do? What can I do as a rank-and-file officer to help the process? Not just collective bargaining, but we're talking about the business of the union, how the union functions, the structure of the union, why it's important for the member to take part in his union, because this is a grassroots organization, as we recall. That's how it was formed. That's the mandate we had when we formed this union, to have a grassroots organization that worked from the bottom up, not the top down.
Start your engines and let's go get some signatures. Have fun.
This in the top here is one of the most dangerous pieces. It's called a zip gun. You have 24/7 to think of ways to make this stuff, and we only have 7 hours in a day to try to find it.
We've really hit the media hard. We've opened up the correctional environment to the public, and it's overwhelmingly very supportive.
When they realize that we're a part of that community and we're doing a tough job, I think they'll be more supportive of what it is we're looking to accomplish.
Hi there, good afternoon. How are you today? Trying to get the public to help us out with signatures. We have a petition here for the House of Commons. My best moment is when I met the retired correctional officer. That was my best moment. It just made me feel so good that I was out here. It's just absolutely the best thing. We need to get out. I think we need to get out more of this. In the Pacific region, I want our guys to do it on a monthly basis. Even when our contracts are done, I want us to carry this on.
It's the first time I see an operation on such a scale. When I look at the scope it has, the resources we have, the number of people here, the fact that we have official CSN delegates that are in Edmonton who came from Montreal, and I think that it's a good operation, and CSN is really supporting correctional officers.
Yeah. Oh, good.
When you put in all the energy that you need to increase public awareness, then they support you, and that's very important. I think it'll help us in our negotiations.
In a region like this, you don't get this type of congregating of our membership. We're talking 3 provinces that have come together today, and some have left from 2 in the morning. They've proven their dedication. They've been on the road since 2 this morning. They still haven't slept. Some haven't checked into their hotels. They've come directly here, grabbed their routes, and headed back out to pound the pavement. So seeing that type of dedication in our members, that has been extremely rewarding, yeah.
As I come from Quebec, I speak French, and we've come to a place where people pretty much speak English, but people are very happy. We can help each other out from across the country. I really enjoyed the experience. We've been very well received, and it's a lot of fun.
It's a real boost for correctional officers when they touch the people that we're there to protect, and they get to interact with them. I mean, we work in such a negative environment all the time. We never see or get thank you for the job you're doing. And I think a lot of correctional officers knocking on doors, and when they've gotten those signatures, from what I'm hearing in the vans when I'm driving people back, are, yeah, I got thank you, like, hey, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. I wouldn't want to do that job.
We're here today because it's been more than 30 months without a contract. Today it's the Liberal Party convention. And we've come to demonstrate, to say to the Prime Minister that it's time that he met with us. It's been 3 times that he said he'd meet with us, and he's never there. So we're saying, enough is enough. We want a decent collective agreement. We hope that Mr. Martin hears us. It's time he made some progress on our file. After 34 months of negotiations, the people here, as you can see, are still motivated and they're still behind their national executive. And we're going to win a new collective agreement for correctional officers.
We know Mr. Martin and all of his sheep have just been wandering around giving us false promises that they're going to meet with us, and they don't. So we want to show them that we know who's at fault.
For the first time ever, we've got the resources and the tools to get, for example, the 2 regions here together today, Ontario and Quebec, and this has been one of the greatest things we've ever done for our union because we get to exchange ideas, and it's good fun, and it's the first time we've ever done that, and this union's been able to open up that door.
This is really fun. It's enriching. And when you go back to your institution, you're ready to pump up your colleagues. I say, let's go, let's continue. I think victory is there for the taking. I'm convinced of it. We're going to win.
This is what it's all about. This is solidarity.
There is law enforcement agency out there called correctional officers that keep them safe every day, and we're no longer hid behind the wall and keeping our mouth shut.
Liberals, Conservatives, NDP, Bloc, they're all writing right now to the President of Treasury Board, trying to tell Treasury Board, I think it's time that you guys sit down and settle a contract with this union.
In order to do whatever it's left, the left 100 meters of the run, we need more than ever to be united together for the fight, and that's the only way. We're going to send a message that is clear to the people in that room, the Liberal caucus, that we're going to achieve our goal and we're going to have a collective agreement that we deserve.